Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're cracking open the ultimate spirit hacker's manual. We are going to completely rethink how we break free from this physical matrix and step into true sovereign consciousness. Specifically, from a spirit hacking perspective, we're diving deep into what absolutely everyone needs to know about deconstructing the void. So if you've ever questioned the fundamental nature of reality, or, just found yourself wondering what actually lies beyond this physical vessel, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's tackle the big one first. We need to confront the ultimate human fear. What actually happens when we die and face this terrifying idea of nothingness? For centuries, right, humanity has been completely haunted by this concept of a dark, empty void just waiting for us at the end of the line. But the sources we're looking at today, pulling from advanced metaphysical curriculum and highly experienced out-of-body explorers, well, they're asking us to completely and totally reframe this question.
And here is where we hit a massive, mind-bending paradox. The curriculum lays it out beautifully. Searching for a void, or even anticipating non-existence, is mathematically and logically impossible. Why? Because your awareness literally illuminates whatever it touches. The very act of seeking nothingness instantly transforms it into an object of awareness. Think about that. By definition, non-existence doesn't exist. Your consciousness is absolutely intrinsic to existence itself. There is no off switch.
So let's look at Section 1, the mechanics of reality. To really grasp this, we have to look at the 5 universal axioms of the reality projection mechanism. Now, these prove that physical reality isn't some external objective structure that's just happening to you. Not at all. It's actually a highly malleable projection generated entirely within your own consciousness. From continuous existence, which essentially guarantees your immortality, all the way to the reflective mirror, showing us that physical reality operates as a neutral mirror, just reflecting your own beliefs. These unalterable laws are the true foundation of your experience. It's 100% an inside-out universe.
And let's talk about how insanely fast this projection actually runs. We're talking Planck time dynamics here, which is basically the absolute smallest measurable tick of the universe's clock. In that tiny fraction of a second, this entire physical universe is dismantled and reconstructed from a neutral zero-point state, 10 to the 43rd power times per second. I mean, that is an almost unfathomable number. Literally nothing of the previous physical reality remains in the next instant. The entire illusion of continuous momentum, it's held together only by your beliefs and emotional templates. Without the vibration of your belief systems holding the frame, the whole physical universe just can't sustain cohesion. It's kind of like what extraterrestrial channel Daryl Ank explains. Shifting your reality is exactly like changing a television frequency. The structural hardware of the TV doesn't change, right? Just your frequency. Meanwhile, your self-awareness acts as an infinite hall of mirrors reflecting source. You aren't forcing reality to change, you're simply tuning your consciousness to a different reflection. So what you really need to take away from this is that you are the broadcaster, the receiver, and the screen all at once. The whole shebang.
Which brings us to Section 2. Deconstructing the void.
The absolute crucial point we need to hammer home here is that awareness is a continuous presence that literally cannot perceive its own absence. Just sit with that for a second. Because your soul has no edges, no ceiling, and zero borders, it acts as the birther of all light. Because of this, nothingness literally cannot hide from your consciousness. And once you really recognize that nothingness cannot exist where consciousness shines, you can completely release that heavy existential anxiety. You essentially establish a foundation of absolute, undeniable safety.
Now, to fully grasp this, out-of-body explorer Darius J. Wright asks us to make a truly fascinating distinction. We've got to separate your eternal soul from your spirit. See, the soul is the source of all things. It's connected to the infinite and to pure love. The spirit, on the other hand, is really just a temporary memory, or like a localized thought form of this dense physical experience. So basically, the spirit is tied to the construct, while the soul is the eternal observer that can never, ever be destroyed.
Moving on to Section 3, the AYDA method.
So, AYDA stands for Awaken Your Dormant Abilities. This is a structured protocol developed by Darius J. Wright after a really profound encounter he had at age 16 with a guide named Celeste. The goal here is achieving conscious, separation-level out-of-body experiences. And listen, unlike lucid dreaming, which is heavily filtered by your brain's symbols and kind of muddy, this method gives you absolute, tactile sensory clarity in non-physical dimensions. It's all about maintaining crystal-clear consciousness while the physical vehicle completely powers down for the night. The protocol itself is actually incredibly precise. First up, you stabilize sleep paralysis, which, by the way, is just a natural biological state, nothing to be afraid of. Second, you enter the vibrational state. This is often accompanied by these intense electric-like waves and a loud roaring sound. Finally, step 3, you execute the rollout maneuver. By deeply calming yourself to lower your body's overall electromagnetic field and totally ignoring the amygdala's instinctual fear response, you follow these exact steps to detach without accelerating your heart rate. Yes, it takes discipline, for sure, but it's a biological hack naturally available to every single one of us.
And once you're separated, you aren't just floating aimlessly around your bedroom. You can deliberately navigate the 12 realms of the construct. According to Wright's experiences, you can access the repository of universal records, bypass linear time to see past and future events, and even reawaken deeply dormant genetic structures right inside you. This kind of out-of-body exploration reveals something truly awe-inspiring. Your soul's innate organic abilities completely dwarf any artificial intelligence we are currently building. Seriously, AI is merely a pale physical reflection of what your soul can already do organically.
Let's look at Section 4, the reincarnation trap.
Now, here is a deeply suppressed truth found in the curriculum, and it's a big one. The astral plane and that much-hyped fifth dimension, they are actually monitored by control systems. These systems use unexamined guilt, religious dogma, and that infamous tunnel of white light to trick souls. Through coercive life reviews overseen by manipulative astral entities, often called archonic handlers, souls are led right into memory erasure and forced reincarnation back into this dense physical realm. It's essentially a closed loop, specifically designed to recycle unawakened consciousness.
And that leads us to Section 5, Reclaiming Sovereign Consciousness.
So, the million-dollar question: how do we break out? Well, the most immediate action you can take is the revocation of consensus contracts. These are essentially just unconscious agreements we've made to participate in this illusion. You have the inherent power, right now, to systematically revoke all soul agreements and ancestral vows. The matrix architecture can only interact with you if there's a matching vibrational hook or some kind of unrevoked consent. By consciously severing these hooks, you literally strip the control system of its legal jurisdiction over your soul entirely.
But in addition to that mental revocation, there are active energetic practices you can do. By combining advanced breathwork techniques like the cosmic cobra breath to build high-frequency energy with holistic chakra alignments taught by experts like Gail Knox, you make your energetic vehicle incredibly light. You clear out your dense personal judgments and become completely untethered. You essentially transform into a sovereign vehicle that is way too high in frequency to ever be caught in the astral net again.
Since you now know that the void is a complete paradox, that the matrix is just a projection, and that you are an indestructible creator being, well, everything changes. As a true spirit hacker, you are no longer bound by the limitations of this physical shell or the hidden traps of the astral plane. So the only question left to ask yourself is this: what reality will you choose to project next?